So there's a scripture that reads, a fool and his money shall soon part ways. And I'd like to add to that, a fool and their money should part ways. It is for the greater good, period. Add that into Proverbs. If you are a fool, you lack wisdom, discernment, knowledge, you have not educated yourself about money, you have not worked on your habits, etc., it's probably better off that you don't have a whole lot of money, because you will likely use that money in detrimental ways, right? There is a drastic difference between poverty and brokenness, and you could be both at the same time. But to be broke is a temporary situation, right? I was broke not too long ago. It was a matter of pocket and essentially the habits that I was willing to cultivate. But poverty is a full-blown mentality. It is the victimhood mentality. It's the ideology that the things that are material matter more than the things that are psychological, spiritual, emotional. When you have a fixation on physical possessions to the point where you will bankrupt yourself for things that don't matter. So as we get into this story here, I just wanted to give that as our, I guess just that as our foundation, right? To say that this indeed is foolishness parting ways with money. If you had any money before, if you're like this woman here, you ain't gonna have it for very long. So let's get into this right here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Bambi in the chrome heart jeans, straight finance today. How you feeling, Bambi?
I'm feeling good about my
Feeling good. First off, how much did you?
I'm not looking to be mean, y'all. I'm trying to cut down on the petty every now and then. Okay, sometimes, as much as I can bear. But the last thing homegirl here needs to be worried about is some chrome heart jeans. That is the last thing. There are a lot more unaddressed issues taking place here. Now, homegirl is financing a pair of $18,000 jeans. What sort of fool do you have to be to buy any article of clothing for more than $100, $200? And I'm talking about this is maximum capacity. We all know this is made somewhere in Guangzhou, China, in a factory next to the jeans that they sell at Ross Pay for Less, that they sell at DD's Discount. Do you see these damn jeans?
Put down today.
$100.
Ooh, and how much per month?
$50.
Okay. See, that's a steal. And for how long?
For life.
52 years. 52 years is how long it's going to take for her to pay those damn jeans off. $50 a month. That is 4 Netflix accounts. That is an internet bill. $50 a month for 52 years for a pair of raggedy ass Ed Hardy looking jeans. This is a perfect example of how far this consumerist mentality has really gotten. Why is it that when they're making down payments on something, Klarna, why is it junk food? Why is it useless things like this pair of grandma jeans? Why is it never the gym? Just hear me out for a second. Why is it that you never hear of this sort of individual putting a down payment on a gym membership? You could go to a pretty nice gym. I mean, look, Planet Fitness, $10 little, $12 little a month. You can go to a pretty nice gym for $50 a month. You won't need a pair of jeans to try to attract whoever it is you're trying to attract. Because why do people do most of this? It's so they can attract the opposite or the same sex. This one, you never know. I don't know. There's a lot going on with this character. I'm just going to leave that there. Be nice. Be nice. If you're broke, but you have a good physique because you take care of your body, you're going to be more physically attractive than somebody who's got $18,000 jeans on who is out of shape. It's a God honest truth. And I don't believe in, getting your sense of self to be gratified by external validation, right? It is a drug. If you need people to continuously, perpetually validate you in order for you to feel enough, you will never feel like you're enough. That's the reality. So we're looking for love in all the wrong places to begin with. We're using these external markers in order to show the world that we are valid, we are good enough. That's not wealth. That's poor. Even if you got money and you think in this way, you're poor. That's why there's a lot of these, ball players, rappers, entertainers, etc. The lottery winners, those who have not cultivated a mentality of wealth, who don't understand that money is not to be spent, but instead to be used. How do I get assets as opposed to liabilities into my life? When you have that poverty mentality, the money will go as fast as it comes in. It will go as fast as it comes in. You will damn near be looking to throw it away because money is psychological. It is a psyche game. You must renew your belief systems. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am enough. So you don't have to use your money as a means to compensate. And also not the other extreme, which is, to completely devalue money and to pretend you don't care about it. The biggest lie I've heard is, I don't care about money. But yet you wake up in the morning at hours you don't want to. You leave your family behind, the people you want to be around, just to go and pick up a little measly check. That sounds like you care about money. So if that be the case, then how do we build a better relationship with money? How do I understand how money works? Instead of hating on somebody, instead of being bitter, how do I get better? Just an opinion over here. But instead you become, I still got this, Lord, I still got her face up here looking crazy. And I'm glad that there's people selling them for that much. I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad. I can't knock the hustle. I'm not mad somebody selling jeans for $18,000. I'm not mad somebody selling jeans for the price of a car. I'm not at all. Good for you. Good for finding the fools who need to part ways with their money. You're almost doing like this is God's work almost, This is damn near biblical what you got going on. You are parting the fools from their money. She is willing to buy $17,000, $18,000 jeans. And a lot of these folks, it's not just clothing anymore. They buy new bodies. Instead of working on their body or appreciating and valuing themselves for who they are, they'll buy a new nose, new lips, new cheeks, false eyelashes, somebody else's hair or another species hair, new backside, new front side. They'll remove ribs if they have to. They'll destroy their entire anatomy in order for them to be looked at, to be gawked at, to be objectified. Let's be real about this. Let's be real. Nignogs will buy chains galore. You live in the projects, but you drive a big body Benz. What is that? You live in the projects, but you're driving you live in Section 8 housing. You live in the hood, up to no damn good, but you have a chain on. You're looking to get a bust down. Your priorities are off kilter. That's poverty. That's a poverty. That's a scarcity consciousness. Now, maybe you buy a Rolex and it's going to appreciate in value. Maybe you buy, a piece of art or whatever it may be. Okay. Maybe you buy a pair of pants that are never going to be created ever again. And so there's value forever. Vintage pieces, right? Shout out to my wifey. She is, a master when it comes to finding vintage pieces that appreciate in value. And she can see the value when others cannot. So yeah. That's an asset. But that's not how most of these knickknacks are thinking. They are thinking to themselves, how do I get myself another pair of some? I didn't even know what Chrome Hearts were until I think it was Tony Yayo, and he was on a Vlad interview. Talking about some Chrome Hearts. Somebody spending thousands of dollars on a pair of jeans. I ain't going over $40, $50 for some damn jeans. Jeans? These? Jeans? Nah, son. No. No, we got to fix this. We got to fix this mentality. Read. Educate yourself. Instead of, using all your time to watch silly ass content, which I'm as guilty of as anybody else, at the very least, educate yourself. How does money work? And how do I shift my own level of thinking and consciousness in order for me to be able to actually not only hold on to money and save money, but how to grow money? How do I develop my skill sets in order to be more valuable in the marketplace? Instead of being jealous and bitter, having that socialist ass mindset, everybody needs to be equal when it comes to money. No, they don't. They need to be exactly where they deserve to be based upon what they did or did not do. 80% of millionaires and billionaires are self-made, quote unquote, self-made. No man is self-made, but you catch what I'm throwing. They weren't born into it. So yes, all you have left is excuses. And if you want to keep those, then go ahead and keep them. I'm not going to stop you from your excuses. I will warn you against them, but I can't stop you. You're going to do what you're going to do. So yeah, Chrome Heart Shawty, who's going to be over them jeans in a minute. She might outgrow them jeans. They don't even look like they fit. I don't even know how they're supposed to fit. I don't know anything about chrome jeans, and frankly, I don't care to. So yeah. Till the next time, peace. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.